Welcome into New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. We have our weekly Monday live show on tap for all of the real ones out there. I appreciate everybody already at the gates waiting for us to get things going here on a Monday afternoon in the Chat Sports studios from Dallas, Texas. I'm your host, Marshall Green. Got producer Nick Roloff with me today. I hope everybody had a good weekend. Kind of the first weekend of the year besides the Giants bye week that we really haven't seen any football. I'm not going to call that Pro Bowl football. As big of a flag football advocate that I am, that was pretty much a joke, and I don't know if the NFL should ever do that again, but that is just my take. We got a bunch to talk about on today's show. Wink Martindale and Mike Kafka are both finalists for the respective head coach jobs that they have been interviewing with. We have some Daniel Jones news on the franchise tag, and could it happen for Big Blue and DJ? And then we got two mailbags. I want to hear from the real ones. Any questions you guys have, we're going to answer those in today's show. First, let's get the comment section going today. We usually start with a real one roll call, but I kind of wanted to change it up today. If you love the New York Football Giants, spam Big Blue in the comment section. I want to see how many Big Blues we can get in the comment section to start today's show. Everyone that comments Big Blue, I'm going to give you a shout out. If you love the New York Football Giants, drop those Big Blues. Shout out to Tyler. What up, T? What up, Mitch? What up, Marty? What up, Rodon, Jake, Joseph, Raging Dragon, DS Squad? What up, what up, what up, what up, Bart? What up, Big Time Mac, Twisted Diva, Corinne, Jonathan, Lord Draco. What up, Neymar? Hope I'm saying that right. Mr. Superstar. What up, what up? What up, Jonathan? What up, Pamtree? What up, Nathan? What up, Mitch? I want to see the Big Blues in the chat. What up, Loso? Big Blue, real ones only. Loso loaded is 100% right. Get those Big Blues dropping in the comment section. We appreciate everybody tuning in. AV says Green Jets. We got a Jets fan in the chat. Rolly, aren't you a Jets fan?
Fuck the Jets.
F the Jets, no doubt about it. Eric Hall, what up, Brody? Raging Dragon getting those in there. We are less than a week away from Super Bowl 57. Super Bowl 57. What up, Christopher Tony? What up, Brody? Good to see you. What up, what up, what up? Who do y'all got in the game this Sunday? Knicks Galaxy, what up, my guy? Who do y'all got in the game this Saturday? I want you guys to sound off in the comment section down below. Rolly, who do you think's going to win this? Actually, let me ask this. Who are you rooting for, and then who do you think's going to win the football game?
So this is a real tough one for me because I hate the Eagles, and I can't have Pat Mahomes keep on winning because if he keeps on winning, he's going to approach Tom Brady territory. And as you guys know, I can't have that. So I'm in a pickle here. I think the Eagles are going to win, as much as I know you guys will hate to hear that because they've got the better roster outside of two positions. So I think they win. I root for the NFL.
What does that mean?
I refuse to pick a team to get behind in this game. I refuse.
Dude, have some conviction. Pick somebody.
I will. I told you, I think the Eagles are going to win. I will not be rooting for a team. I will be enjoying the game as an NFL viewer.
You looking forward to that Rihanna halftime show?
Oh, it's going to be a banger.
Umbrella, Ella.
All-time song.
Under my umbrella. I'm right there with Rolly. I am going to be rooting for the Kansas City Chiefs. You thought I was pointing to this. I'm rooting for the Chiefs for obvious reasons. I hate the Philadelphia Eagles. I hate Nick Sirianni, and I hate everything that the state of Philadelphia has to stand for. But I think they're the better football team. And we know not always the best football team wins in the Super Bowl. If I had to bet my life on it, I would say the Eagles are going to win, but I'm rooting for the Kansas City Chiefs. I will be wearing my Giants red, a.k.a. my Chiefs red, on Super Bowl Sunday. I'm going to be a Patrick Mahomes fan. I'm kind of looking forward to that, being able to root for the best thrower of the football in NFL history. But but I just truly think that the Philadelphia Eagles are the better football team from top to bottom. But the reason I think the Chiefs have a chance is because they are better at the two most important things, Rolly. Since Rolly doesn't know ball, I'm going to educate him real quick. Quarterback, the Chiefs are better, and head coach. The two most positions on a football team that are important are the quarterback and the head coach. And I believe the Kansas City Chiefs have the better quarterback in Patrick Mahomes, and I believe they have the better head coach in Andy Reid, and I also absolutely hate Nick Sirianni. Let me know who you guys got in the Super Bowl. KC for the Chiefs, PHI for the Philadelphia Eagles. If you type PHI, you might as well get the hell up out of the stream. We also have a site and a proud sponsor of today's show, BetUS, the best damn sports book in the game. They keep the lights on here at Chat Sports. Go to chatsports.com/bet and make sure you use that promo code chat125 for 125% deposit bonus. That way, when you put $100 into your account at chatsports.com/bet and use promo code chat125, they're going to hook you guys up with a 125% deposit bonus, meaning you'll have a free 125 to bet with and the 100 you deposited, so you'll have 225 big ones to bet on, and you can bet on the game this weekend. The Eagles enter as favorites -1. The total over-under is 51. Rolly, if you had to make a bet, what would it be?
I would take the over.
The over.
I love the over. It's going to be a 30 to 27 game minimum. Minimum. The hammer is going to be, or the over is going to be a hammer.
You're seeing an offensive shootout.
I will guarantee an offensive shootout.
I think a shootout benefits the Chiefs, whereas I think if it's a ground and pound game, the Eagles run away with it.
I agree, but here's the one thing. The game is going to be won in the trenches.
And that benefits, unfortunately, this team.
Yeah.
Because we've seen Mahomes under pressure in the Super Bowl before.
And it went horrible.
Yeah. The Tampa Bay Bucks absolutely dominated the Kansas City Chiefs. What was that, Super Bowl 54?
It was 2 Super Bowls, so 55.
55, okay. I would go Chiefs +1, and I would parlay it with the over as well, and then I'm getting big bucks on the line.
Quick timeout. I don't want to go big brain for you here. But you said you think the Eagles are going to win, right?
I do.
Then why would you be betting Chiefs +1?
Because I'm betting it into existence.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yes, it does.
If you think the
If you would have
Eagles are going
followed
to
this
win.
show all year long, you would have known that my record on the Giants this year, betting-wise, was damn near perfect.
Yeah, but if you think the Eagles are going to win, why take a 1-point spread for the Chiefs?
Sorry. I'm taking Chiefs money line.
That's
Chiefs
better.
money line.
That's
Chiefs
better.
money line.
If
Chiefs money line and the over.
If you're betting on this
Or
game,
I might do a little teaser.
Oh, I mean, if you want to do a 2-leg teaser here, tease it down the over 45, Chiefs +7. Honestly, that might be the freest bet all week.
That's free cheddar.
It's not going to be plus odds. I know 2 things have to happen. It won't be plus odds. But Chiefs +7 and over 45, a 6-point team to 2-team teaser, is the freest bet of the Super Bowl. Also, touchback on the kickoff.
Touched it back on the opening kickoff.
I had that bet last year.
Bet heads or tails?
Heads. Last year, ready for this? So I got into contact. I was talking to a FanDuel executive. This is not a joke, by the way. I talked with him. He said that 90% of the money was on tails on the opening toss. And I heard that, and I was like, well, I know it's a coin toss, but Vegas always knows.
It's heads.
And they're not letting 90% of people take their money from them on tails. So I put 50 on heads last year. Easiest 50 I ever made, to be honest with you.
Are you going over or under the length of the Star Spangled Banner?
Well, I got to see the number first, and I don't even know who's singing it yet.
You always take the under.
I'm wrong. You always take the over in big
under.
events. In big events, it's usually someone trying to get their shine, get some recognition, so they want to be on TV as long as humanly possible.
Oh man, remember there's going to be a whole bunch of bets. I bet the Gatorade color will be blue this year. I'm going blue Gatorade.
I like that. I think it's going to be orange.
Ooh, bet on it. Chatsports.com/bet. Make sure you use that promo code chat125. That is in the live chat right now. Shout out to executive producer, a.k.a. intern McCullough. That link is in the comments. Not in the comments. It's in the comments, not the description. Look, I know we all hate the Philadelphia Eagles. So if you want the Eagles to lose the Super Bowl, like this video right now. Rolly, I am a man that's very stitious. Some would even say superstitious. Like the video if you want the Eagles to lose the Super Bowl, because I can't handle, Rolly, that the Eagles in the past 5 years would have cut halfway into the Giants Super Bowls of all time. We got 92 people watching, and I'm sure none of you guys are absolutely Eagles fans. So, let's hit that like button. If you don't like the video, I'm going to assume you're an Eagles fan, which pretty much means that you kiss your sister. Like this video if you want the Eagles to lose the Super Bowl. If you don't like it, that means they're going to win it, and that means that it's going to be a shitty day for the New York Football Giants. We got our first super chat of the day coming in from my main man, the real one, Sahagins Detailing. What up, Brody? He says, guess who's back, baby? What's going on? Guess who's back again. Sahagins back. Tell a friend. Shout out to Sahagins Detailing. You guys know how we get down. The first super chat of the day is always a shot of Fireball. Shout out to you guys. We do have a little bit of a new super chat menu today. Rolly, you want to explain it for the real ones?
Well, as always, we have every super chat. You get on screen, you get a shout out, we interact, we answer whatever you say. $10, of course, is the mini wheel. Not so mini, though. It has all the good stuff you like to see on there. Just a bunch of stuff. A lot more, I guess.
There's some juice on there.
There's some juice, but there's just more on there, so there's a little bit of a versatility of what you can get. $20 instead of Fireball shots. Marsh decided to upgrade today to some Henny shots. If you got into our Knicks stream last Thursday, it got a little wild with the Henny shots.
It did. All the New Yorkers always tell me, yo, Mosh, you got to drink some Hennessy. Here I am. $20. We're taking Hennessy shots. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, then obviously you got the $50 wheel, which has 4 items on it. 4. A shot fun for me, a shot fun for Marsh, a shot fun race, and Henny shots for the both of us. Also, I see my man Crimsdad is in the chat. Crimsdad, I shit you not. I'm walking to the studio today to get ready for Giants Now Live by Chat Sports, and Abby Alonzo tells me, hey, Marsh, I could really use a beer shotgun today. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why. I was just told if we get a $100 super chat, she wants to race me again in a beer shot fun. Unfortunately, I think she was 2-1, or went 2-1 in the best of 3. I need my payback. $100 super chat, Crimsdad. Abby Alonzo, the Zoe, is going to come on the stream, and we're going to do a beer shot fun race because she said she needs it. I don't know what's going on. She looked a little down in the dumps today. Let's pick her spirits up. Let's get a shot fun going. We do have actual Giants news and rumors to talk about, and we're going to start with this. Mike Kafka has been named a top 3 finalist for the Arizona Cardinals head coaching job, and Wink Martindale has now emerged as the number 1 favorite via the betting odds in Las Vegas to be the next head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. So there is a chance that the Giants could lose both of these coordinators after just 1 season with Big Blue. So I want to ask you guys this question. If you could only pick one of these guys to keep on the Giants staff going in to the offseason, who would it be? Type MK for Mike Kafka, WM for Wink Martindale. If you could only keep one of these guys, who would it be? For me, Seeps, Rolly, I was kind of messed up. That's muscle memory right there. That's muscle memory. I think it's Wink Martindale. And the reason I say that is because you have an offensive head coach. You have an offensive mind. I would be upset that Daniel Jones would be on his 5th offensive coordinator in 5 NFL seasons, but I think having Dable provides that stabilizing force, and I think with Dable being an offensive mind, you're pretty much allowing Wink Martindale to have full control of your defense. I don't know. That's just what I would roll with. I think it's a little early for Mike Kafka to be getting
head coaching jobs. I mean, he was a quarterback coach 2 years ago. He didn't even, he called the plays, but it was under Brian Dable's wing, I guess you could say. But my thing is this. You already hired Arizona, that is a young offensive coach in, what's his name again? Cliff Kingsbury out of Texas Tech. Do you really want to go to another young offensive coach that's never been a head coach before? It's going to be interesting. I'm sure by the end of the week we will have official word on Kafka and Martindale. I'll roll with I would rather keep Wink Martindale. Rolly, do you have a say here?
Well, I'll say this, is that every single person in the chat who has chimed in on this conversation has said Wink Martindale.
Really?
There is quite literally, I looked up and down, not one person who said they'd rather keep MK. It has been all WMs. So Big Blue Nation is very clear about wanting Wink Martindale back next year.
And for good reason. I mean, he was excellent in his first year as the defensive coordinator for Big Blue. I can get down with that. I think I would also roll with Wink Martindale as the guy that I would want to keep on this staff. We do have 2 mailbags coming up on the show. And I want to hear from all of the real ones in the mailbags. I want to answer your questions about Kafka, about Wink, about free agency, about the trade market, about the NFL draft, about Daniel Jones, about Saquon Barkley, about Sterling Shepard, about Daniel Bellinger, about Evan Neal. I want to answer all of your questions about the New York Football Giants. So go ahead, drop your questions in the comment section. Just include hashtag Giants in your question. That way producer Rolly can put those up on screen. It makes it easier for him. It goes with our software. We pull all questions that have hashtag Giants in the comment section. I want to hear from you guys. I want to answer some questions. I want to chop it up with Big Blue. If you want your picture and your comment up on screen during the mailbags, use hashtag Giants or Super Chat. Remember, all Super Chats get on the show. And every $10 Super Chat, we're going to spin the wheel. Every $10 Super Chat, we'll spin the wheel. Do we want to show them what we maybe got on the wheel, Young Rolls? Young Rolls, shout out to Rolly. This could be a lot of fun today. I want to have some fun. We always had a lot of fun on our Wednesday live shows. We don't have game days anymore on Sundays, so let's take advantage of these Monday live shows where we get to interact with the audience live. There's a lot of stuff on here. It could be a shot for me. It could be a Nick Roloff beer shot fund. $10 could result in a shot fund for Nick, a shot fund for me, or a shot fund race. We got Fireball shots on there. We got Hennessy shots on there. Also, every $20 Super Chat, we're going to spin the wheel, and I'm going to take a Hennessy shot. We also have a $50. Yay, nay?
Yay.
We do have a $50 wheel. If someone sends in a $50 Super Chat, that could either be a shotgun for Nick, a shotgun for Marsh, a shot fund race, or Henny shots for me and Rolly. And if we want Abby Alonzo to come in the chat today on stream, $100 Super Chat, and I will race her in a shot fun race. And I need my payback. I need to get back at Abby Alonzo. Crim's dad, she's asking for you, my man. Tuto, my man, with the $5 Super Chat. What up, Tuto? He says, massive salutes and respects to Big Boss Marshy and Mr. Guzzo. What up, Rosario Guzzo in the chat? And all the diehard Giants fans. Greeting from Princeton, Jersey?
Jersey.
As in, like, Princeton, New Jersey?
Yeah.
Princeton, Jersey. And slap all the stinky boys and losers. Tuto, you're the man, my guy. I'm taking a shot of Fireball for my man Tuto. Tuto, how'd your season end up going? I'm still waiting on you to send me some highlights of the rugby season. The best damn rugby player in the world. That's my man Tuto Azurdi. Tuto, how'd it go? How did the season end up? I'm very, very interested. My man Tuto is one of the best defensive players in the world. Let's ride, Tuto. Let's go. Mr. Rick is in the chat. My guy, Mr. Rick. Hope all is well. Long time no talk. Good to see you, Mr. Rick. Hope you and the fam are doing all right. Tell everyone I said hello. Alrighty, we're going to get into the latest news on Wink Martindale, Mike Kafka, Daniel Jones on a franchise tag. We got a bunch of news and rumors to talk about. If you haven't yet, please hit that thumbs up icon. We got 110 people watching and less than 50 likes. If by the time we end this first segment and we're at 100 likes, I'll take a shot of Hennessy. How about that? 53 likes away. If you love the New York Football Giants, like this video. And if you want the Eagles to lose the Super Bowl, hit that thumbs up icon right now. What up, Giants fans? You're watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. Give me a follow over on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. I'm trying to follow more Giants fans. That way we can talk ball about the New York Football Giants this offseason, and I want to follow some Giants fans back. Give me a follow and send me a DM saying, I know ball. That way I can follow you back and we can chop it up about Big Blue. We're going to talk about Daniel Jones and the franchise tag coming up here in a second. But first, let's talk about the biggest storyline surrounding the G-men right now. Mike Kafka and Wink Martindale are both finalists for the Indianapolis Colts job and the Arizona Cardinals head coaching jobs. Both coordinators for Big Blue were in their first season, and they did such a damn good job that both of these guys are finalists to be head coaches in the 2023 season. The one that I'm most worried about is Wink Martindale, because if you could see this graphic on screen, over the weekend, as of 10 a.m., I believe on Saturday, Wink Martindale in Vegas was plus 700 to be the next head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. And then the very next day, he shot up to be the favorite. And that tells me that Vegas knows something. You don't go from plus 700 to minus 150 in the change of a couple of hours unless you get a little bit of a birdie in your ear telling you that Jim Irsay could be the guy that could hire Wink Martindale as a head coach. Jeff Saturday is still in the running to be the Indianapolis Colts head coach. Raheem Morris, as well as Shane Steichen and Aaron Glenn of the Detroit Lions are also in consideration. The reason that I'm worried about Wink Martindale potentially leaving to be the next head coach of the Indianapolis Colts is because Jim Irsay is an absolute wild card. If there was any owner that wanted to hire Wink Martindale as their next DC, it would be Irsay. I could see Jim Irsay and Wink Martindale being the type of guys that every game day after the game crack open a bottle of scotch and smoke cigars until the cows came home. And I don't mean this to be disrespectful to Wink Martindale, but I think there's a reason that he's this old and he's been this far in the NFL and never got a chance to be the head coach. And it sounds like he might be the favorite right now to be the next head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. That'd be a huge loss for Big Blue. He's pretty much the assistant head coach of this football team. Dable handles the offense, obviously with Mike Kafka, and then Dable pretty much gave the reins to the defense with Wink Martindale. And losing him will be absolutely devastating to this team. And I think it could honestly set this defense back a little bit. We also got news around Mike Kafka, who has been named a finalist, one of the three finalists for the Arizona Cardinals head coaching finalists. Three of those were named. Obviously, Mike Kafka, the offensive coordinator for Big Blue. Brian Flores, the former Miami Dolphins head coach, was the linebacker coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers last year. And Lou Anarumo, the defensive coordinator for the Cincinnati Bengals. Lou was actually a guy that was interviewed to be the Giants head coach last offseason before they hired Brian Dable. He's one of the best defensive coordinators in the NFL. I hope they hire him, or I hope they hire Brian Flores, because if you lose Mike Kafka, I think it's going to be an immediate effect on this offense. And that would be the fifth offensive coordinator of Daniel Jones's young NFL career that he would have to learn from. And that would be very unfortunate for DJ and this offense, because we saw the immediate impact that Kafka had on this Big Blue offense. When you look at what they were in 2021 before Kafka came to town, they were the worst offense, in my opinion, in the National Football League, averaging less than 15.5 points per game, less than 300 total yards per game, couldn't even rush for 100 yards per game, less than 203 passing yards. And I think the most damning stat of all that told you what was going on with the New York Football Giants when it comes to Jason Garrett is their red zone touchdown efficiency. They only scored touchdowns in the red zone 44.7% of the time with Jason Garrett. And I think the key that showed you that Kafka was a damn good offensive coordinator is how much that improved. They went from the worst Red zone offense to the 7th best in the NFL, scoring touchdowns on almost 63% of those drives. They also upped their points per game by more than 6 a game. Had more than 70 more yards per game. The rushing offense got much better. Passing game stayed the same, but they were much more efficient with the football, and they were able to take care of the rock and simply win games and close out games with the run game. If I had to decide which coordinator and their loss and them becoming a head coach would hurt New York Football Giants more, I believe it would be Wink Martindale. And I think that's because Brian Daboll is an offensive guru, and I think he would take on more of the responsibility and the onus of becoming that play caller or being a guy that could be in the play caller's ear and kind of like a big brother to him and help him develop. Whereas if you lose Wink Martindale, you got to get a whole new defensive staff and get a guy that wasn't here last year, teaching a whole new scheme, teaching a whole new defense, and essentially losing maybe a top 5 defensive coordinator in the NFL. The Giants were a solid defense under Patrick Graham, but they emerged as a top 5, top 10 defense with Wink Martindale. I just think he brings that swag, that toughness, that mindset, and just the get it done and the aggressive style of defense. They dictated what other teams could do to them, whereas for so long with Patrick Graham, the offense has dictated what the Giants did on defense. With Wink, that didn't happen. I think Wink would be harder to replace than a guy like Kafka when you already have one of the brightest offensive minds as your head coach. I'll ask all of you, though, in the comments section right now, if you could only pick one of these gentlemen to keep as a coordinator for Big Blue, as both are finalists to be the head coach, respectively, Kafka for the Cardinals and Martindale for the Colts, who would it be? Pick one of these guys to keep if you can only have one. Type MK for Mike Kafka or WM for Wink Martindale. I'd roll with Martindale. He's the guy I could keep. But if we get to keep one, I'd be happy. If we kept both, I'd be ecstatic. If we lost both, I would be absolutely in shambles. We're going to touch on Daniel Jones coming up in a second. But first, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, because once we get word on Mike Kafka or Wink Martindale or Saquon Barkley in his contract or Daniel Jones in his contract, we are going to break it down on this channel, youtube.com/NYGiantsTV. Videos every single day on the latest Giants news and rumors. And I want to thank everybody that has subscribed to the channel, because we just crossed over 24,000 subscribers. Thank you guys. Thank you to everybody that has subscribed. But the show goes on. We ain't stopping here. Giants videos every single day this offseason. Coming up, we're going to touch on the report that Daniel Jones and the Giants, one, haven't even started on contract extension talks, and supposedly Joe Schoen in the Giants front office does not want to franchise tag Daniel Jones. We're going to unpack all of that coming up. But first, I want to take a moment and give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, that being Fume. Go to tryfume.com/chatsports and use the code CHATSPORTS. Fume is an awesome product. And we all have bad habits, and we certainly know how hard they can be to kick those bad habits. Our sponsor, Fume, is on a mission to accelerate humanity's breakup from the bad habits that consume far too many of us. Fume is a natural diffusive device that uses plants and behavioral science to help you trade out your negative habit for a positive one. I didn't expect much out of Fume when I got it, but the minty sensation is really powerful, and I love it. The Journey Pack comes with 3 unique flavors to enjoy: maple pepper, crisp mint, and white cranberry. Fume is not a vape. It's a non-electronic device designed to transform your negative habits. The easiest way to stop a bad habit is to switch to a positive one, and Fume is designed perfectly to do just that. Head to tryfume.com/chatsports and use code CHATSPORTS to save 10% off when you get the Journey Pack today. That's FUM.com/chatsports. Try FUM.com/chatsports and use code CHATSPORTS to get 10% off the Journey Pack today. That link and promo code are in the comments and description of today's show. Shout out to Fume. Get started with them today. Big news coming out of Big Blue today, as there are reports coming out that the Giants don't want to franchise tag Daniel Jones. And I think that makes sense on a lot of different levels. And we're going to break that down on today's show. But I think it is important to know that if Daniel Jones were to be franchise tagged by the New York Football Giants, he would have a 1-year contract of $32.4 million. $32.4 million for 1 year is the franchise tag for the quarterbacks. That's a lot of money, and that would be a dagger into the cap space that the Giants have right now, which is about $46 million. That'd pretty much make you not able to make any moves. You'd have to save the rest for your incoming free agents and incoming draft class, Jeff Howe of The Athletic reported this. He said the Seahawks and Giants remain committed to keeping quarterbacks Geno Smith and Daniel Jones. The preference in each case, unsurprisingly, is to reach an extension that will keep all sides happy rather than use the franchise tag. It's still too early to know how either deal will play out coming up the rest of this offseason. The reason that I don't want to franchise tag Daniel Jones is because it would eat up your entire salary cap spot for the 2023 offseason. You wouldn't really be able to improve the roster elsewhere. Right now, the Giants are projected to have about $45 million in cap space, and with the franchise tag of almost $33 million, and that being the cap hit, and that being absolutely guaranteed, you wouldn't have much else to spend. That's why I would want to work towards a 3 or 4 year deal with Daniel Jones. I've leaned towards wanting a 3-year deal, but I could be open to a longer-term deal with Daniel Jones if some of those years aren't guaranteed, because the longer the deal is, that means the further you're going into the future, and the further you go into the future, the salary cap for the NFL is going to continue to spike, meaning it may sound like a lot right now to give him $35 million, but in 3 years from now, that may not even be top 20 quarterback money in the NFL. These are the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Aaron Rodgers tops the list. This is average per year value, over $50 million for him. Russell Wilson at 49, Kyler Murray at 46, Deshaun Watson at 46, and you got Dak Prescott at 40 and Kirk Cousins at 35. If I'm Daniel Jones, I want to be a part of this list. But if I'm the New York Football Giants, I want to hold Daniel Jones to under being a top 10 paid quarterback in the NFL. But when you look at what Daniel Jones this year, I think he has good reason to want to be one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL, especially the fact that he feels like he's just touching the surface of the type of quarterback he can be. Say what you want about the touchdowns, just 15, but you add rushing touchdowns, that's 22 total touchdowns to 8 turnovers, completed 67% of his passes, rushed for almost 1,000 yards. Daniel Jones absolutely has earned the money that he is going to get this offseason. When you go on the road and you win a playoff game, no matter how bad that Minnesota Vikings defense is, you deserve credit. And I do think that win against the Vikings upped his value by about $10 million per year. If Daniel Jones lost that game, I would have said he's worth about $25 million. But right now, I could see Daniel Jones signing a deal with an average annual value of anywhere from $30 to $36 million. I'd like to keep him obviously a little bit lower because then you could use that money to help out this roster elsewhere. But DJ's a young quarterback, and he's looking to get his first payday in the NFL. I hope it's with Big Blue. I believe it'll be with Big Blue. I could see a deal coming in 4 years, $120+ million for Danny Dimes. I want to ask you, though, how much per year should the Giants pay Daniel Jones? We showed you the top 10 highest paid quarterbacks. I'm not sure I'd make him a top 10 highest paid quarterback. Like I said, if I can get a deal of 4 years, $120 million, $30 million per, with an opt-out after year 3 and year 4, I think that's best case scenario for both squads. But I want to hear from you. How much per year should the Giants pay Daniel Jones? Make sure you guys are following me over on Twitter at MarshallGreen _. Like I said, I want to chop it up this offseason with more Giants fans outside of just live shows, and that being on Twitter also. Give me a follow on Twitter at MarshallGreen _. And if you DM me, I know ball. That way I know that you know ball. I'll follow you back and we can chop it up. Crim's Dad with a $10 super chat. I appreciate you, my man. He says, so you are saying there's a chance. If we get a beer shot fun race in the $10 super chat, I'll do it me and Abby. That's what I think that's fair. If we get a shot fun race, we'll do it me versus Abby. Rolly, you looked really pleased about that.
I mean, listen, I like to party with you guys. Have a good time with Marshall. Party with you guys. But if a shot fun for me is getting pawned off to someone else, how can I be mad about that?
Can't be mad about that. Crim's Dad, good to see you, my man. Hope all is well. Thank you for the consistent and always showing love and donating to the channel. We greatly appreciated that. We couldn't be what we are without men like Crim's dad, who is on the Mount Rushmore of New York Football Giants. Now, let's spin that wheel, Rolly. Please do not give me a shot fun on this first one.
I got to start it on a good one. So it ends up being something other than that. Oh, NR shot fun? I'm sure it won't land on that.
Oh, give me an NR shot fun. Every $10 super chat will spin the wheel.
Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh. All right. This means that for the next 2 minutes, every
5.
Crim's dad, I just saw your Twitter DM, and that is hilarious. Crim's dad, you're a badass, my man. Crim's dad's a badass. Every $5 super chat over the next 2 minutes, we're going to spin the wheel. 50% off. It's $10 usually. We'll do $5 for the next 2 minutes. We'll spin the wheel. The clock has already started. Did Tuto already super chat again?
This was before. I don't know if you want to count it or not, but
we can count it. He says, Marshy, we've had a devastating loss on December 30th and got eliminated from the playoffs. I had multiple surgeries in Germany. I'm at home in Jersey now. Are you okay? What did you have surgery on? Tuto. I am devastated. Was that in the playoffs? From the playoffs. Oh, my God. As Crim's dad comes back with back-to-back $5 super chats. You still got a minute to get him in. He says, Crim's dad, I'm in love. I'm jealous of you, man. You got yourself a good one. Keep her around, my guy. Every $5 super chat, we're going to spin the wheel. Crim's dad just sent 2 in. We got 2 more spins. You're saying Tutos came in before the 50% off?
Yeah, Tutos
but
came in.
But he did send 2 5s.
Yeah, so we'll count it.
We'll count 2.
We'll count it.
Oh, as Crim's dad sends another $5 super chat.
So we got 4 spins.
We got 4 spins. You got 30 more seconds. Every $5 super chat will spin the wheel. If you send in a $20, that means I have to do a Henny shot and 4 spins. Every $5. We'll do it. This is going to turn into a party here pretty soon.
I think so. Another one!
From Crim's dad. 15 seconds. Get him in. Get him in. Did you tell Texer that cut's done? All right.
Ronan
plays with the $5 super chat. Bang!
That's a Henny shot.
Crim's dad again!
That's a Henny shot.
Holy shit. Well, we got some wheel spins to do,
That's a
Chugs.
Henny shot right there.
I don't know if it is.
It's not, because no one's sending 20.
Yeah, it's a 20 piece for a Henny shot. Jeremy, come on here.
Whoa.
This is Jeremy Chugs, our resident Eagles fan. If we get a $10 super chat, Jeremy has to do a Hennessy shot. He doesn't want it. Look at that look on his face. A $10 super chat, and the Eagles fan has to do a Henny shot. As Corinne.
Crim's dad again!
It's over. The 5 pieces is over. It's over. Are you just repeating me?
Yes.
Do we look alike? Do we look alike?
If Marshall didn't have a widow's peak, they would look the same.
I think you have a straighter hairline, but my hairline's better because it's more unique. That's what my mom used to tell me. Unique is better. Unique is better.
Yeah.
Are you flexing your chest?
Maybe.
If we get a $10 super chat, Jeremy Chugs, the Eagles fan, has to take a Henny shot. Crim's dad with the buzzer beater. Cha! 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 I think that's a couple Henny shots for young Jeremy. That's a couple. All right. How many wheel spins are we at?
So we were at 8 with the $5 menu.
Okay.
And then the $10 from Rodon is standard practice, so we're at 9.
And then Charleston a 20.
Oh, I didn't know if we count that.
We'll count it. We'll count one wheel spin for the 20 and
So 10.
we have 10 wheel spins.
10 wheel spins.
10 wheel spins.
I will guarantee
a shot fund
we get
is
a
gonna
shot fund.
happen.
I will also say we are $10 away from 100, which would basically get a shot fund raise of Abby and Marshall.
That is true. That is true. We're $10 away from a guaranteed shot fund race between me and Lonzo.
2 penny shots?
2 Henny shots for young Jeremy.
We'll have
Beeling.
Chugs do this first before we get to
You
the
can
wheel
spin
spin.
the wheel while I'm doing this.
No, we want you to have the show.
You're the spotlight.
You're in the spotlight. Pour it up. I thought Eagles fans partied. I saw Eagles fans doing cocaine in the stadium. Did you see that?
That was pretty lit.
There was an Eagles fan on the broadcast was literally holding a dime bag in the stadium. That's right. Why are you looking like that? Oh! Bang! Shot number 1 for Beadling. That was strong.
I can already see his face turning red.
He is getting redder by the second. J-Liv says, Marsh, did the Knicks really win last night against the Sixers? They absolutely did, J-Liv. The New York Knicks are back, baby. They're back. All right, you got one more in you? You got anything to say?
Fuck the Cowboys!
Hey, we can agree on that. Oh, Rodon! Another wheel spin. Do we want to add Jeremy to the wheel? Let's add Jeremy to the wheel.
He's got no live today.
I got a lot of stuff I gotta do.
What do you got to do?
I have another Knicks I gotta do. I have.
Add him to the wheel. Add him to the wheel.
I have to go push out a Sixers.
Well, that can wait. Trust me, those 2,000.
Chugs, I'll only add you on one thing.
Yeah, one thing. What is it? Chug shot fun?
Chugs Henny shot.
Chug's Henny shot. All right. Let's catch up on the wheel spins.
With Crimsdad and Rodon sending in another 2 10s, it's up to 12.
We have 12 spins. 12 spins. All right, we got 12 spins, baby.
This is electric.
This is electric.
I know, there might be 2 or 3 shot funds on here. Like honestly,
I don't feel good about
I'm
this.
nervous. I'm pretty
We
nervous.
already owe a guaranteed shot fun race between me and Abby. Here's spin number 1. Woo-hoo! All right. Shot fun subs. We are currently at 24,067. If we can pick up 3 more subs by the time we're done spinning, I'll do a shot of Fireball. Everyone, if you're a subscriber, type me in the chat. Let's go. Type those me's in the chat. Spin number 2. Spin number 2.
Oh no. Stay.
Oh my gosh.
We live to fight another day.
Did you see how close that was?
We
to
live
a
to fight
blow-off
another
shot
day.
fun? We get to 270, 24,000. We get to 73 more subs. I'll take 2 shots of Fireball.
We live to fight another day.
Wheel spin number 3. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Oh, both shots. Both shots. Look how close that was to a shot fun
It threaded the
race.
needle.
That's twice it was almost a shot fun race. Let's go. Let's go. All righty. Spin number 4. Shout out to you guys. Spin number 4. Number 4. Da 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 da.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Well, looks like I owe 2 beer shot funds at this point. 2 beer shot funds at this point. Was that spin number 4?
Yeah. So here comes
Spin
5.
number 5. I need a Nick Roloff shot fund so we can race.
No.
Spin number 5. Oh my. Oh my God. All right. For the next 2 minutes. $5 for a wheel spin. Next 2 minutes. You got 2 minutes if you want more wheel spins.
We'll also catch up on them after, so we're just going to keep on going. Once we
Yes.
get done with the original 12, we'll look at what was sent in and the 2-minute timer.
Spin number 6. We got 6 more after this
We're
one.
halfway there. Oh!
All right, Nick Roloff shots. 30 more set. You got a minute and a half left. $5 if you want to get back in on the shot fund on the wheel spins. Woo!
Numero
Woo!
7.
Number 7. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, Nick Roloff, another shot. Suck it, Rolly. Suck it, Rolly. Suck it, Rolly. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh.
Spin number 8.
Numero
8
8.
of 12. 8 of 12.
12.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Start making them take some shots.
That's for me. Good answer. Good answer. Good answer.
Where are we on the 2-minute timer, by the way?
Where are we at on the 2-minute timer? I accidentally pressed pause. You got 55 more seconds.
Wow, what a steal.
Abs, we have a beer shot fun race. Me and you coming up.
Oh, it happened?
Yeah.
It happened.
Who did it?
Crim's dad got us over the top.
Crim's dad put in like 40 or 50.
Yeah, he did. All right, spin number 9 of 12 coming up.
Yep. Numero 9.
Nueve of Doce, right? Unce,
Doce. I don't remember.
Oh my gosh.
No. Wow.
All right, you got 2 more minutes. We're gonna go to 4 minutes.
No one took advantage of the first 2 minutes. Time to
No
need
one
another
ever
2
took
minutes.
advantage. $5 and we'll spin the wheel.
Numero 10.
10 of 12. 10 of 12. Come on,
I
give
don't
me a
remember
Nick
11 or
Roloff
12.
shot fun.
Nope, I'm in the clear.
Oh,
Some
my
tequila.
God.
I don't think we brought that in there.
Can
you
you grab
that?
the tequila? Lonzo's gonna grab
Thank
the
you.
tequila. Spin number 11.
I don't remember 11 in Spanish.
11 is unce.
Correct.
Unce. Doce. Trece. Catorce. All right, I like this one. We're at 72 likes right now. If we get to 100, I got a shot of Fireball. This is the last one?
This is numero 12, as you say.
No, last one. You still have a minute and a half to get in on the $5 super chats. Can I get a Nick Roloff shot?
That
fun?
tequila shot, was that for me or
Please.
you?
It's for me.
Okay.
Oh, bow shots. All right. All right.
Do you want to do it now or after?
Let's do
our
it now.
mailbag?
The people
No,
want it.
now? Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to go grab me a Happy Dad? Thank you, Abby. All right. I'm pretty upset Nick Roloff didn't get one.
Yeah, I barely survived.
I will say this. We're at $112 in super chats. If we get to 150, Rolly's going to race me at the end. If we get to 150, I already owe a solo beer shot fun.
We'll make it a race.
We'll make it a race. It's much more fun in a race.
I'm fair to the people. I'll do it.
If we
You,
get to
you know, us
150.
true New Yorkers aren't scared.
Oh! Corinne beat the timer! Yeah, Corinne beat the timer.
Was that the buzzer beater?
I accidentally stopped the clock
Again?
Yeah, 30 more seconds. 30 more seconds.
Well, this is going to be This is what is Trece?
Tracy, give me a Nick Roloff shot fun. Nick
If
Roloff
Corinne got me at the
shot
buzzer,
fun.
I'm going to be devastated.
Both shots again.
Got a lot of shots.
A lot of shots today. So usually we go shot funds. Corinne says, damn, it takes forever to have to go through. Corinne, we got you. We would never leave without you. Shout out to you guys. Zoe, are you ready?
Give me a second here.
Now introducing 6 foot. Abby Lonzo. What up, Zoe? What up, Zoe? You have a good weekend? Good weekend? Went home, saw the peeps, get some good Nolans food or what? That's the way. Yeah, that is. Oh, Jason! Jason got it in before the bell. Jason
We'll hit that
got
after
it in
the shot
before
fun,
the
then.
bell. We'll do it after the shot fun. I wish this was my
Caesar!
That's the last one.
That's the last one.
Last one.
So we got two
Caesar.
more after this
We got
shot fun
two
race.
more from C's and Jason. Rolly, are you counting us down?
I feel like the happy dog goes down faster.
What are you
You
drinking?
could have grabbed one.
Light. No, they're your happy dogs.
Wow.
All right.
All right. I'm nervous. My
Alright.
first one is always my worst performance.
Yeah, it is easier to get Marsh on the first one. I got to be honest, when we both do our first shot fun, I've never lost to Marsh. But after that, Marsh gets the best of me.
I don't know. You might get me today.
I don't know. Is Crimstad watching? He says I'm driving. Don't YouTube and drive, Crimstad. Definitely don't Zoe and drive. Are you ready? Count us down. Count us down. 3, 2, 1, go. On the go.
All right. Get your engines ready.
Woo!
3, 2, 1, go! Oh, not even close. Another crushing defeat for Marshall Green.
Don't flex on me this time. No flexing on me this time. Even though that pick was legendary.
I can't breathe.
Hands above your head. There's no oxygen down there. I can't believe I just got smoked.
That wasn't even close.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I got screwed.
Did you not even finish either?
Just little driblets left.
Oh, little driblets. I know what you mean.
Little dribbles.
Real donkeys.
Abby just smoked me. She continues to come on my show
Nah, you
and
can leave it
smoke
in
me. We're done for now. Actually, leave it in there because we're officially $25 away from me and Nick Roloff doing one. Thank you, Abby. Give Abby some love in the chat. Drop those double A's. Drop those double A's. She's just a lady in a white hood. She's just a lady in a white hood. Little white hood. What's the character? Little. Yes, I can't speak. I'm pretty sauced. Dude, it's hot as shit in here. Mute my mic real quick, Rolly.
All right, so Marsh is doing some fan stuff to his face. I don't know what's going on with him.
Hot, hot, hot. It is so hot, hot, hot.
All right, so what we are going to do is we have 2 wheel spins for Jason and Caesar getting on the buzzer of the 50% off. So we'll do number 1. This one is Jason. I survived another day. Oh, you didn't do the first tequila
I
shot.
owe 2 Henny shots. You can
No,
unmute me
2
now.
tequila shots.
Yeah, I owe 2 tequila shots now. All right. Jesus Christ, we got 2 more mailbags.
2 tequila
I'm
shots
going to
left.
save the tequila
I'm just
for
gonna
after the mailbag.
Okay, I'm going to spin it now, too, so we can get in the mailbag. I got to take a shot.
Oh, it was almost tequila. I'm going to save the 2 tequila shots for after the mailbags because the tequila is really what sends me home. Crimstad said I missed it. Well, you didn't miss much, Crimstad. She fucking beat me again. I really tried on that one, too. How does she do it? She's pretty damn good.
She's good.
She's pretty damn good at that. I'm better when I'm drunk.
Oh,
I'm better when
that's
I'm
for
drunk.
sure. Because if you watched our Knicks stream, like I said, I got the best of Marshall in round 1. And then when Seeps came on after the Knicks Heat game and we started going, Marsh got into takeover mode. And
I got into my bag at.
You got in your bag. You don't have much of a bag, but you got into it.
Yeah, Rolly can't guard me.
Yeah, don't shy away from tonight. You're getting hooped on.
Oh, alrighty. We do have a mailbag coming up, and I don't think we have any questions in there. We need some questions. Hashtag Giants. I need all the real ones. I know. Crimstad, she's a winner. I'm not a winner. She's a winner. Xavier. I'm not sure you know what that means. But I appreciate your compliment, my friend. Get your questions in. We would greatly appreciate it. Use hashtag Giants, or we just won't do the mailbag. If we don't get any questions, we won't do the mailbag. Hashtag Giants or Super Chat. Shout out to my man, Jason. Crim's dad, can you get me some Nerds gummy clusters? Nerds gummy clusters, the best candy in the game these days. All the kids are talking about them. Rosario Guzzo gets his question, and we appreciate you. Corinne, when will your draft preview start? We did first-round draft targets last week. I've started to do my draft prep over the weekend. Really started watching some film this weekend. I'm getting excited for the draft. Giants are going to be able to get a difference maker at 25. That's for sure. That's for sure. Yodes is in the chat. What up, Yodi? Jay Liv in the chat. Rodon Plays in the chat. I need all the real ones right now to go ahead and get your questions in the... James Yoder says chat. I forgot about that. I think that was my first NFL draft I was here. Christopher Tony, I know. She smoked me. I don't know what to do. I told you I would be better. Thing is, I just wasn't. I owe you guys. I also owe you guys another beer shot fun race. If we get to 150, I'm going to do that against producer Nick Roloff, and I ain't losing to him. Ooh, Mr. Rick. I love that question, Mr. Rick. Get your questions in, hashtag Giants. If you want your question to for sure be answered, you could super chat. All super chats jump the line. Yeah, we'll take it slow. We need your questions. We're still pretty short.
I just want it on record, Rob Jigga is back in the chat making draft day jokes again. I'm starting to look at questions to get loaded up. And the first one I see is from Rob saying you guys need to make a classic Vontae Mack. I didn't see the rest of the question, but he keeps on trying to get a draft day question on the mailbag.
And he's asking me about Shane Falco.
He loves the made-up players.
Shane Falco is one of the best movie quarterbacks of all time. I know, guys. I let him down. I think you guys like seeing Abby win, though, instead of me. I thought y'all were my friends. I guess you're friends of Zoe, who's a closet Eagles fan. I don't know if I was supposed to say that.
You kind of just broke the code there.
Did I just throw her under the bus?
She was in, what is it called when the CIA protects you? I'm spacing.
I don't know.
Dude, what do you mean? Like when you're...
Protective Services?
Yeah, she was in Protective Services, and you're the security guard. You just outed.
Oh,
Rob Jigga just asked. Well, he just gave you the answer. She's a closet Eagles fan.
I'm just saying, y'all are rooting for Lonzo, and she was rooting for the Eagles, singing that damn song. Fucking hate that song. Jay Liv said closet and ain't no secret. Witness protection. What did I say?
That's what you said.
I said witness protection.
You said witness. Wait.
Witness protection? I don't think we said that.
I don't know.
I don't know. We've had a lot of shots. Rodon gets a question in. Shane Falco from Ohio State. Another QB bust, just like Coleridge Stroud. The only way Coleridge Stroud will be efficient if he goes to a dome. Probably use some dome, toughen up. Here we go. Let's get a mailbag in hashtag Giants or Super Chat. Are we looking good on questions, Rolly?
We're good for now, but keep firing them in because we do have a second one that it can roll over.
Not one, but two.
We have enough for one, but keep on firing them in. Can't get complacent.
We said Protective Services. It was because I had my producer in my ear saying that. Take this guy to producer school, Yodes. Take him to producer school. All righty. All righty. Focus up. Game face. All right, we got a mailbag coming up. Frames edit. We see Protective Service. What an idiot. Rolly, why would you say that in my ear?
I don't know if you guys are getting the bit he's throwing on here, but he's lying.
No caps. No caps. All rings. 4 of them. New York Football Giants. All right, we got a mailbag coming up. Remember, hashtag Giants or Super Chat to get on the show. Welcome into New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. We got a mailbag coming up, which aired on our live show, though that goes down every Wednesday afternoon. The best way to get featured on these mailbag, it's a 2-step process. Go down right now, hit that big red button, because we only take questions from subscribers. And number 2, you got to have your notifications on. So go down as well, hit that bell icon, and then select all, so you get notified anytime we put a video out here on the channel, and then you can join us for these live mailbags. We're going to start with a question from the GOAT, Rosario Guzzo. What up, brother? He said, will the Giants draft a center in the draft? I love the one from Minnesota. I sure hope they draft a center in the draft. For me, if I had to order my Giants' biggest draft needs, I would say wide receiver is number 1, interior offensive line is number 2. I'd put off-ball linebacker number 3 and cornerback number 4. I think it's time for the Giants to invest in that interior offensive line. John Feliciano did a good job as kind of a stopgap at that center spot. I'd like to bring him back on a 1-year deal, kind of on the cheap, but I don't want to bring him back as the starter. I'd like for him to be a depth piece. If you could draft a center in round 2, 3, or 4, and a guy that can come up to speed and get better and potentially start down the stretch, I think that'd be pretty good. The Giants did draft 2 guards last year in the middle rounds, and Joshua Azudu and Marcus McKeithen, both out of the University of North Carolina. Shout out to producer Rolly, big Tar Heel fan. Giants need to get better on the interior offensive line. Hopefully Evan Neal takes a step at the right tackle spot. You got Andrew Thomas, a top 5 left tackle. But we saw in the playoffs against the Philadelphia Eagles and their ability to just fire off the ball and win in the trenches where they won against our interior offensive line. That's a big weakness for this team. I would look to draft either a center or another starting guard in the top 3 rounds of this draft. Appreciate you, Rosario. Question number 2 coming in from my guy Rodon Plays says, do you think Saquon will stay or do you think he will leave? And that's a question of the offseason right now. I believe if I had to bet on it, he would be back. But I'd be lying to you if I didn't also say that I don't think it'll be drawn out. I don't think this is going to end at the early part of the offseason. I think it's going to stretch well beyond the NFL draft and maybe as well into the offseason, into OTA. Saquon Barkley believes he's a top 5 back. There's a report out there that he turned down a contract of almost $12 million per year. He said he didn't want to reset the running back market, but if you turn down $12 million per year, which is top 5 money, how much more are you realistically wanting? The top guy is Christian McCaffrey at about $16.5 million. I don't want to pay Saquon Barkley anything over $12.9 million. 13 is the highest I would go. If you have to franchise tag him and trade him, I would do that. Running back is always an interesting position to monitor when it comes to second contracts because it doesn't really usually work out. Look at a guy like Alvin Kamara. That didn't work out. Dalvin Cook. That didn't work out. I mean, the only really ones that have are Derrick Henry. And I would have said the Christian McCaffrey contract didn't work before he got traded. You also got Ezekiel Elliott. That second contract has hindered the Cowboys from making moves. I think Saquon's special. I'm trying to think with my head and not my heart. My head says trade him or let him go. My heart says bring him back. I am totally conflicted. If I had to predict today, I do think Saquon will be a Giant next year, though. Next question coming in from Extend Kenny Galladay. This has to be a troll. He says, with the Giants, with the free agent market for wide receivers looking kind of should the Giants trade for Darren Waller? And you're 100% right. The wide receiver market is not all that good. The number 1 wide receiver free agent is Odell Beckham Jr., and then you got guys like Darius Slayton, who's a top 10 free agent wide receiver. It's just really not all that good. We've talked about that in previous videos. So I like the idea here of trading for Darren Waller, a guy that's pretty damn good. One of the best receiving tight ends in the NFL, especially in 2019 and 2020. Over 197 grabs, 12 total touchdowns, and almost 2.5 thousand yards in those seasons. But if you look at what he's done in the past 2 seasons, he really hasn't lived up to the bill. He just got that contract extension. It's pretty easily tradable, but I don't really want to give up premium draft pick compensation for a guy like Darren Waller, who's been hurt the past 2 years and really not all that effective. I do think getting a receiving tight end could benefit this offense, especially if you bring back a guy like Mike Kafka and he doesn't leave for the Arizona Cardinals, because we saw the way he used the tight end in Kansas City with Travis Kelce. If you can get a receiving tight end and kind of put him in that mold, he'll never be as good as Kelce because he's going to go down as one of the best ever, but kind of played that same type of role. Mike Gesicki is a name that I've heard the Giants could be interested in. I don't know if I'd trade for Darren Waller. The best ability is availability, and he really hasn't been that the past couple of years. I'll ask you, though, and I like this question. Good job, producer Rolly. Would you trade a third-round pick for Darren Waller, the tight end of the Las Vegas Raiders? Giants have 2 third-round picks. Interesting. I kind of want you guys to decide for me. Would you trade a third-round pick for Darren Waller? Why for yes and for no? Tyler, my man, what up, Brody? Good to see you in the chat. He says, should we trade for D-Hop, and what do you think it will cost? I think DeAndre Hopkins is definitely somebody that the Giants have on their radar and will think and talk about this offseason. Sounds like he wants out of Arizona, and sounds like Arizona wants D-Hop to play elsewhere. I think the cost will be at least a second-round pick for a guy like DeAndre Hopkins. I'm kind of in the camp that maybe I would trade a second-round pick. If I can get him for a third, I would absolutely do it. D-Hop's still, in my opinion, when healthy, one of the best receivers in the NFL. But he's probably going to want a new contract, and he's a guy that's over the age of 30 at this point. If I get him for a third, I would absolutely do it. I'd think long and hard about trading a second-round pick for him. No doubt about it. We'll get to more questions coming in from the real ones here in a second. But first, I want to give a huge shout-out to today's sponsor, BetUS. Go to chatsports.com/bet and use that promo code chat125 for a 125% deposit bonus. The best sports book in the game, chatsports.com/bet. Promo code chat125. When you use that, you'll get a 125% deposit bonus if you put $100 in as your down deposit. Also, bet on the Super Bowl, as that is just a couple of days away. The Chiefs are entering here as the underdogs of this one. The Eagles are the favorites at -1. The total over-under is 51. I'm betting Chiefs money line, kind of betting with my heart. I don't want the Eagles to win whatsoever. Just make sure you bet on the Super Bowl with our proud sportsbook partner, BetUS. That's chatsports.com/bet and promo code chat125. Jay Livingston. What up, Jay Liv? The definition of a real one. Says, do you think the Giants ever build a linebacking corps like the I don't know. I kind of think that the linebacking position has kind of gone down a little bit in value, but you look at the good teams out there. The Eagles, they have really good linebackers. The 49ers, they have really good linebackers. The Giants have to improve in that spot, no doubt about it. You're not going to be able to get by with Jalen Smith and Gerard Davis and the guys that you had last year. And I think this question goes also with Mr. Cha. What up, Rick? He says, is there any inside linebackers in free agency? Do you think the Giants will pursue them? The top 5 linebackers heading into free agency are Levante David of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's an all-time linebacker, just kind of getting up in there in the age column. You got David Long of the Tennessee Titans. He's kind of a newer guy onto the scene, played really good last year. You got TJ Edwards of the Philadelphia Eagles. You got Tremaine Edmonds of the Buffalo Bills and Jermaine Pratt of the Cincinnati Bengals. I like Pratt because he's good against the run and the pass. But I think if the Giants were to sign a linebacker, it would be Tremaine Edmonds if they decided to go all in, because Joe Schoen knows Tremaine Edmonds. He was the assistant general manager of the Buffalo Bills when he was drafted in the first round. And oftentimes we've heard Joe Schoen talk about he wants to pay guys that he knows who they are and what they are and how they work. And he knows that for Tremaine Edmonds. He knows his habits. He knows his study habits and what he brings to a football team. He's got a personal relationship because of their time in Buffalo. I think if the Giants go all in on a linebacker, it would be Tremaine Edmonds. But I don't know if the Giants are going to cash in big on the linebacker spot in NFL free agency. I could see him go bargain shopping and trying to piece that thing together like they did this past year. Jason, what up, man? Says, will Wink or Kafka come back to New York? As we do have some breaking news, Brian Flores has signed as the defensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings, which makes me feel like, wasn't he a finalist for the Arizona Cardinals job? So now it comes down to Mike Kafka and Lou Anarumo. I have a bad feeling about Mike Kafka. These were the Cardinals head coaching finalists as we recorded this on Monday, February 6th. Flores is now out of the running. Got Lou Anarumo and Mike Kafka. I'm praying that the Arizona Cardinals, Jason, do not hire Mike Kafka. I mean, Wink Martindale's also the betting favorite to be the Colts head coach. So there's definitely an opportunity and a chance where the Giants this time next week could be looking to get new offensive and defensive coordinators. Look, Jason, I do know this. If breaking news happens around the Giants or Mike Kafka and Wink Martindale, we're going to break it down here on this channel. Look, we put out videos every single day on the latest Giants news, Giants rumors, trade rumors. We go live every Monday. It's the best way to stay informed. Hit that sub button. Go to youtube.com/NYGiantsTV. James Yoder says, who should the Giants select at pick number 25 in the NFL draft? A couple of guys that I think could be on the Giants' big board when it comes to pick 25. I think Jordan Addison out of USC, the wide receiver, also played for the Pittsburgh Panthers. I believe he's a wide receiver the Giants are going to fall in love with. Just where he can line up on the field in the slot or the outside. He's a big play receiver. If you're looking at a cornerback, which is a big need as well, my favorite in the draft is Joey Porter Jr. out of Penn State. I just like the swag that he has and the physicality. He's a press man corner. He's got long arms, 6'2", 200 pounds. Osiris Torrance, the interior offensive lineman out of Florida, could be a draft target at 25. And then Drew Sanders, the off-ball linebacker out of Arkansas. I think all of those guys are going to be targets for the New York Football Giants at 25. If I had to make my prediction today, I think Jordan Addison is going to be the pick for Giants at number 25. Last one coming from my guy, Trade RJ Barrett. He says, could a lower-end wide receiver target be Deontay Johnson? We've talked a lot about on this show the past couple of weeks as wide receiver trade targets for the New York Football Giants. Because we've seen Joe Schoen as the assistant general manager for the Buffalo Bills alongside Brandon Beane. What did they do when they had a young quarterback in Josh Allen? They traded for a superstar wide receiver in Stephon Diggs. And I don't want it to be confused. Deontay Johnson is not a superstar, but he is a damn good receiver. I mean, when you look at what he did the past couple of years, especially in 2021, he has an elite season. 107 receptions, over 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns, almost 11 yards per pop. I like Deontay Johnson. I don't love Deontay Johnson. This past year, 86 receptions, 0 touchdowns. I don't know if that's because of the QB play they had in Pittsburgh or just the offense in general there with Matt Canada as their OC. I like Johnson. I just wouldn't give up premium picks. If I get him for a third-round pick, I'd probably do it, but I'm not giving a first or a second-round pick for Deontay Johnson. I love this question. We'll end it on this one. How should the Giants fix their wide receiver core? Should they make a trade or should they address it in the NFL draft? If you want them to make a trade for a wide receiver, type T. If you want them to draft a wide receiver, type D. I'm calling on all the real ones to sound off. Educate me and let me know what you think in the comment section. Also, remember, you can give me a follow over on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. Trying to talk ball with Giants fans. If I missed your question in today's show, DM it to me on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. Rolly, should the Giants address the wide receiver position in NFL trades or the NFL draft?
I think the value, I know we've had this discussion on last week's show about 5 wide receiver trade targets, but I think there is a better market for wide receivers in trade, or it's better in trade than free agency this year. That's no question. And I think I would rather trade a first-round pick for an elite wide receiver this year more than any other year, because I think the value in wide receivers in the draft this year are in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th round. This is a completely let me rephrase. This is a very deep wide receiver draft class.
It's not top-heavy, though.
The top-heavy guys are just as good as the guys you're going to find in the 2nd and 3rd round, at least in my opinion. I'd rather sit back, take maybe a Rashee Rice from SMU in the 3rd round, a Josh Downs in the 2nd, a Jalen Hyatt, a Cedric Tillman. I would rather have them in the 2nd and 3rd. Nathaniel Dell from Houston, he's getting a lot of buzz from the Senior Bowl. I'd rather take one of those guys in the second and third, fourth round over Quentin Johnston. Don't get me wrong, I like Addison, but I would rather take one of those guys. So that's why I would trade, if you're looking for an elite wide receiver one, trade a first for Ayuk, for T. Higgins. Trade a second. If you want, this is where I would think the best value is. Trade a second and a fifth for DeAndre Hopkins. Get him for 2 or 3 years before he retires, if you're trying to win now, and then use that number 1 pick on a corner. I think that's the best way to go for the Giants.
As I was watching some film this weekend, I fell in love with Zay Flowers out of Boston College.
I think he's going to creep into the first round. And here's the thing. Everybody's in love with Zay Flowers. So he's either going to be a home run pick because it's like everyone's getting on Zay Flowers, or he's going to be an absolute bust because everyone just fell in love with him in the draft process and rose a stock from late second to late first, and he's just going to not be what you drafted him to be.
He gives me Antonio Brown.
I love Zay Flowers. Shifty, good slot receiver, dominated
play outside.
Dominated the Shrine Bowl in the practices. Just absolutely looked like the best player there all week. At least that's what the beat reporters were saying that were covering there. The Falcons guys were there. They had Patriots guys there as well. I've seen a lot of Zay Flowers love. His stock, I think, has rose out of every prospect so far in the post-college football season. His stock has risen the most.
I get Antonio Brown vibes from not the shithead that Antonio Brown is, but the football player. Can line up in the slot, can line up outside, can run deep routes, has every route in his tree, he can get open, he has strong hands, he can make contested catches as well as making plays with the ball in his hands. I'm a big fan of Zay Flowers. As Jason says, Eric Flowers was a bust. You're right. If we're going off last names, I would not go after Zay Flowers. But, yeah, Corinne, I don't know much about his character just yet. I'll continue to do more deep diving and more research. I haven't heard anything negative, though, about Zay Flowers. Seems like a good kid.
Like I said, I feel like he's everyone's favorite prospect almost. Like, everyone loves Zay Flowers. Have you seen someone say something about Zay Flowers in the media? I don't think you can.
Yeah. I go watch his tape on YouTube. He's pretty damn shifty. We do have another mailbag coming up, and I want to hear from the real ones. Also, we're $24 away in Super Chats for me and Nick Roloff doing a beer shot fun race. Can we make that happen?
Do it after the mailbag. Close this show with a bang.
If we don't, I'll just have to do one myself. And that's no fun. I want to race Rolly. We're 25 away. As Mr. Rick says, shout out to Chad Powers for coaching the NFC to a Pro Bowl victory. That Chad Powers can do everything. His mother taught him well. You know what Chad Powers said was the reason that he won that football game, Mr. Rick? Is because he thought fast and he ran fast. Think fast, run fast. Shout out to Chad Powers. Jay Liv, Boston College player, you can't go wrong with character. I don't know Zay Flowers. I haven't seen any reports of him being a bad character guy. So I can't comment on that, but I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Zay Flowers. Shout out to Rodon. He says, would you rather have Eli back or keep Daniel Jones? I'd rather keep Daniel Jones. Eli Manning hasn't played football in how long? Eli is obviously going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's the best quarterback to ever wear the NY on his helmet. He's done, though. He's done. He doesn't want to play football anymore. But yes, I would take Eli Manning in his prime over Daniel Jones, but Eli's prime is about 10 years ago.
Rob, you are not going to get me, buddy. You can try as much as you want.
What's Rob saying?
He said, should the Giants draft Trent Simpson, linebacker, or Steve Latimer in the draft? So he's evolving because he's putting a real person's name first, trying to see if I don't read the whole question to get that fake player in there.
Who is Steve Latimer?
I don't even know what movie it's from, but I know it is a fictional football player. You can't get me.
Oh, man. Devon Griffin with back-to-back Super Chats. He says, Will our New York Giants look at the 5 defensive players who will be free agents after the Super Bowl? Is Obel over from the Eagles team? I definitely think T.J. Edwards is a guy that could
Javon
be.
Hargrave. I know you guys are probably good at D-tackle. But
Yeah, Hargrave's probably out of our price point. We can let's hit that question from Devon in the mailbag. We'll talk about T.J. Edwards there. We do have a mailbag coming up. If you want your question answered on the show, go ahead. Use hashtag Giants or Super Chat like my guy Devon did. Also, we're 14, 15, 16?
17, 16.
$16. $16 away in Super Chats for me and Rolly doing a beer shot fun race after the show.
Good question, Mitch.
Ooh, Mitch, that is a good question.
We still need some more. I don't know if we could have a full show right now.
We need some more questions. Devarshi says, do you think Tom Brady's coming back? No, I don't think Tom Brady's coming back. I think he's going to the booth like he said. Mr. Ghosh. Mr. Ghosh. Hashtag Giants or Super Chat. Jay Liv says Sims is the best. No, he's not. Eli Manning is a better quarterback than Phil Simms. Come on, Jay Liv. Did Phil Simms beat the best coach of all time and the best quarterback of all time with 2 game-winning drives and 2 Super Bowl MVPs? No! It's Eli Manning, the best New York quarterback of all time.
Giants quarterback.
New York quarterback.
Namath might be better.
Absolutely not. Fuck no. Joe Namath over Eli Manning. Joe Namath couldn't sniff Eli Manning.
It's official, by the way. That Kyrie to Dallas is official.
Kyrie Irving. I know, Jay Liv, you're biased. Just like I am. I'm biased for my generation. Giants video that went out. 10-10 on the highlight cut.
Oof.
Mike White is better, according
Okay,
to Rokuro.
I'm sorry for the disrespect on Joe Namath.
Yeah, it's not even close to Eli Manning. Eli Manning, when he retired, was top 10 in every statistical passing category. Oh,
Rob
Simpson! Bang! Who were some of the later to mid-rounds in the draft that would be steals for the Giants to pick up? Rob, I'm going to be honest with you. I still need to do more research on these mid-round draft picks. One of the receivers that I'm a fan of in the mid-rounds is Parker Washington out of Penn State. I like his lineup versatility. Kind of reminds me of a stronger Sterling Shepard, to be honest with you. Good in the slot, smart IQ player, can make the contested catches, can stretch the field. Rolly, do you have any mid-round draft picks that you're a fan of?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of mentioned, just staying on the wide receiver train, Nathaniel Tank Dell, wide receiver from Houston.
Houston, U of H, yeah. 5'8", 160 pounds, but he is like lightning.
He is lightning in a bottle. Not one corner can stick with him all week at the Senior Bowl. His stock went from probably 5th, 6th round to 3rd, 4th round just off this past weekend alone. Tank Dell, big fan of his.
What's the running back from Bama, Jahmyr Gibbs?
Jahmyr Gibbs, I think he's a 2nd or 3rd, but if you want to look at a 4th or 5th round running back, I love the run out of Georgia, Kenny McIntosh. I think he would be a perfect, like a RB2 in his rookie year, potential RB1 in years 2 or 3.
I like Gibbs on the Giants because he's not just a running back. Like, he can line up in the slot. He can do everything on the football field, and I think you could have him and Saquon Barkley on the field at the same time. Gibbs is a guy that I'm interested in. I got to do more research. I'm just starting my draft prep, Mr. Rob. I'm going to do a shot of Henny, though, because I said every $20 super chat. No, I'm not ready for that.
Rob, it is about time you asked a real question. I can guarantee you that will be on the mailbag.
Not Rob Simpson, Rob Jigga.
Rob Jigga.
Rob Simpson, you're always showing
Yeah.
love. We got Henny shots for my guy, Rob.
Jigga was always trying to dupe me with fake players. This one's a real one. About time.
That sucks. If you enjoy Hennessy, you're lying to yourself. Yeah, I got to do more research, Rob, on the mid to late rounds. We'll do videos on the channel as we get closer to the draft of draft steals that the Giants could have. Yeah, we're still 2.5.
It's basically 3.
Basically 3 months away.
Because it's the last weekend of April.
Yeah.
So you got the rest of February, all of March, and basically all of April.
I've been trying to focus more on the round 1 guys because that's what everyone wants to hear about right now with the 25th pick. I'm still learning. I'm still doing my research. But Parker Washington, Jahmyr Gibbs are 2 guys that I think the Giants could look at in rounds 2, 3, and 4. I know the Giants don't necessarily need a running back, but they need more offensive weapons, and Gibbs could definitely be that guy. I also like the short, shifty guy that Rowley mentioned from Houston. What's his nickname?
Tank. It's
Tank.
Nathaniel Tank Dell.
Yeah, Junior.
Junior.
I watched his highlights over the weekend as well. Short, shifty guy at U of H. All righty. Last chance to get your questions in using hashtag Giants in the comments section. We got a mailbag coming up. Let's get into it. What up, Giants fans? You're watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. We got a mailbag coming up where we're answering questions from subscribers. So if you want to be featured on the next mailbag that we have here on the channel, just be a subscriber because we only take questions from subs. So sub for Giants dubs in the 2023 season. I damn sure miss saying that. I already miss Giants football. Devon Griffin with a $5 super chat. My man says, are the New York Giants going to look at the 5 defensive players who will be free agents after the Super Bowl is over? I know that he specified this from the Philadelphia Eagles. The one guy I think the Giants will have their eye on from the Eagles is TJ Edwards, the inside linebacker. The Giants have a need at linebacker. Edwards. So you always see those guys go from NFC East team to NFC East team. You get the most tape study on those guys. You get to know them. You play them twice a year. And you're always watching their film from other teams that you play in the division. I like Edwards as an off-ball linebacker, solid against the run, pretty good against the pass. Giants got to beef up that inside linebacker room. I know some people are probably going to want Javon Hargrave as well. But where the Giants kind of sit at the D-tackle spot, I'm not too sure if the Giants have the money for a guy like Javon Hargrave. I think he's going to break the bank. I think he's going to go for over probably $100 million. Javon Hargrave is going to get the bag. Mitch says, what will we do with Kenny Golladay in James Washington? You're going to cut Kenny Golladay. You're going to pray that maybe you could trade him, but there's absolutely no team that's going to take him unless that you're offering Kenny Golladay in a 5th for a 7th. You're going to cut Kenny Golladay and James Washington. He was signed to the Giants practice squad prior to the Minnesota Vikings game. He's a futures contract, and he's someone that I think is going to have an opportunity this offseason to compete to make this roster, the former second-round pick out of Oklahoma State. Look, you took a flyer on a guy in Washington that was once good in the NFL. If he pans out, what a signing by Joe Schoen. We saw that he signed low-level free agents during the season that were great. Isaiah Hodgins was good. I think Golladay will be cut, and Washington will have a chance to make this roster. He's going to have to earn it, though. This next question coming in from Marsh, don't know ball. Well, I appreciate the kind words, my man. He says, with Tom Brady retiring, could the Giants trade for Devin White? Giants need a linebacker, and if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are selling their assets right now, yeah. I mean, could they? Absolutely. I think it's just going to come back to the draft compensation that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to want for a guy like Devin White, who, in my opinion, is one of the best inside linebackers in the NFL. He was probably better in that 2020 season. Still a damn good player right now, right? I mean, in 2022, he had 124 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 5.5 sacks, 5 pass breakups. I think he would really fit a Wink Martindale defense because of his versatility. He's not really a good coverage linebacker, but he is a sideline-to-sideline tackler, and he's a guy that can blitz the quarterback, and I think that fits what Martindale wants out of his inside linebackers. Look, his rookie year, he had 2.5 sacks, 9 sacks his second year, 3.5 sacks last year, and 5.5 sacks this year. He's able to get after the passer. He's got elite speed on the defensive end. I think that's what the Giants need out of these linebackers. They need a guy that can go sideline to sideline and make tackles closer to the line of scrimmage than 5 or 6, yards into the defensive backfield. I would love to trade for a guy like Devin White. I'm just curious what it would cost. What do we see Roquan Smith go for? A second-round pick to the Baltimore Ravens? I think it was a second, maybe even a fifth, maybe even a fourth. And I think that probably the Bucs hold Devin White to that same value that they did with Roquan Smith. So maybe it costs a second-rounder. Maybe you can get him for a third. I don't even know if they're selling him, but I think it is a good question with Tom Brady out. Could, maybe the Bucs look to retool? So I'll ask all the real ones this question, since I was asked this question. Should the Giants trade for Devin White? No horses can come to New Jersey, according to Karen. Should the Giants trade for Devin White? Type T for trade, type P for pass. I'd love to see him in this big blue defense. Rodon Plays, he says, were you always a Giants fan or were you different fan in your life? I've always been a Giants fan. So I was born on Long Island, moved to Houston when I was a young kid. So my family ended up moving. But my dad is a New Yorker of 35 years, and when I grew up in Houston, there were no Houston Texans. They had not yet begun their expansion, and there was nobody for me to ever root for but the New York Giants, and my dad would have never let me be anything but a Giants fan. But I also have an older brother who's 5 years older than me, and he was a Giants fan, so I really didn't have a chance to be anything other, and I wouldn't want to be anything other because it means something in the Green family to be a Giants fan. Me, my dad, my brother, my dad's dad, his dad, we're all fans of the New York Football Giants. I appreciate you, Mr. Rodon Plays. We'll get to more questions from subscribers coming up in a second, but first, I want to give a huge shout-out to today's sponsor, and that being Fume. Today's Giants Now video is sponsored by Fume. We all have bad habits, and we certainly know how hard they can be to kick those bad habits. Our sponsor, Fume, is on a mission to accelerate humanity's breakup from the bad habits that consume far too many of us. Fume is a natural diffuser device that uses plants and behavioral science to help you trade out your negative habit for a positive one. I didn't expect much out of Fume when I got it, but the minty sensation is really powerful. The Journey Pack comes with 3 unique flavors for you to enjoy, those being maple pepper, crisp mint, and white cranberry. Fume is not a vape. It is a non-electronic device designed to transform your negative habits. The easiest way to stop a bad habit is to switch to a positive one, and Fume is designed perfectly to do just that. Head to tryfume.com/chatsports and use code chatsports to save 10% off when you get the Journey Pack today. That's tryfum.com/chatsports to save an additional 10% off of your order today. Use code CHATSPORTS to get 10% off the Journey Pack. 3 unique flavors in the Journey Pack: crisp mint, maple pepper, and white cranberry. That link and promo code are in the comments and description of today's show. Devarshi says, can Jamar Chase be a trade target for the NY Giants, as all players would need an extension on the Bengals? No, I don't think the Cincinnati Bengals are going to trade Jamar Chase. If you're trying to trade for one of the Cincinnati Bengals wide receivers, it would be T. Higgins. There was a report last week that came out from the Athletic beat reporter for Cincinnati that if they can't come to a long-term extension and that if Higgins wants a lucrative amount of money, they could look to trade him. No way, no how are they trading a guy like Jamar Chase. As much as I would love to see him play for the New York Giants, Chase is going nowhere, whereas Higgins, I think, could be a potential trade target for Big Blue. Jay Liv, is there a mid to late round tight end available in the draft? I still got to do a little bit more research. Rolly is telling me Dalton Kincaid from Utah. I do think the Giants will try to address the tight ends in the tight end room in the NFL draft. They did the same thing this past year with Daniel Bellinger. They're definitely going to be looking to do that again. Maybe you can get another guy, 2 young tight ends in that room. I think tight ends will definitely be a spot that they can look at in the draft, but I got to do deeper research. I'm still coming off of season mode. I'm really right now focused more so on trades and free agency. That's just kind of how the timeline goes for the NFL offseason. You got trade season right after the season, then you got NFL free agency, then you got the NFL draft. But yeah, I do think they could use definitely another athletic tight end. Maybe they could go Michael Mayer in the first round out of Notre Dame. I've seen him fall to 25 in some mock drafts. That could definitely be a possibility. Pierre Juan says, would you take Njigba or Trenton Simpson at number 25? I think I'm cool with either of those guys. I think 25 might be a little bit too soon for Trenton Simpson, but look, we're still 3 months away from the NFL draft. Anything can happen. My concern with Jackson Smith-Njigba is he didn't really play all that much this last year out of Ohio State, and I don't know if he's got enough speed to win on the outside consistently. My comp right now for Jackson Smith-Njigba is Juju Smith-Schuster. He's a bigger guy that plays in the slot. Really good feel, really good route running. His ability to find the holes in the defense, settle, catch the ball, and get north and south are pretty excellent. I just don't know if I want to take him at number 25. If he's there, I wouldn't be mad if the Giants did that. But, yeah, I'd probably go Jackson Smith-Njigba over Trenton Simpson at number 25. Even though I'm a huge fan of Simpson, I'm hoping Giants get him in the second round, but I don't know if that's possible. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, though, youtube.com/NYGiantsTV. We put out videos every single day on the latest Giants news and rumors. Since the offseason's here, we don't have an offseason. Doesn't matter for the Giants now by Chat Sports fam. We get you guys updated every single day. Sub for Giants Dubs. Mitch, would you trade for Darnell Mooney? I am a fan of Darnell Mooney, but I think also the Chicago Bears are. And with a quarterback like Justin Fields over there, I don't think they're in the spot right now to be trading their good wide receivers because they don't have many of them. I'd love to trade for Mooney. I just don't think the Chicago Bears would move him as they're trying to get more help for Justin Fields instead of trading the already solid receivers that they have. Timothy says, should the Giants trade the number 25 pick and 2 future first-round picks to the Texans for the number 12 pick and select Quentin Johnston from TCU in the first round? No, because I think there's a chance that Quentin Johnston could fall to number 25 to the New York Football Giants. Dane Brugler of The Athletic, one of the best draft guys in the NFL, should give him a follow on Twitter. He, in his last mock draft, had Quentin Johnston falling to the New York Football Giants at pick number 25. I think it's pretty funny that my comp for Quentin Johnston is Plaxico Burress. 6'4" guy, can go over the top, get it, also has sneaky speed with the ball in their hands. I don't think you need to trade up for a receiver, and I wouldn't trade up in this draft for one. Select one at 25 if you think you need to take one in the first round. No need to sacrifice future picks. I don't value any of these receivers that much to give up future draft capital. I like the NY Giants. I like the NY Giants too. Should the Giants trade Saquon Barkley and draft Bijan Robinson? It's funny because this isn't the first time I have heard of this line of thinking for New York. I don't remember who put out, I want to say it was Daniel Jeremiah. Could be wrong. There was a guy that did a mock draft recently that the Giants trading Saquon Barkley and drafting Bijan Robinson, and their explanation was cash in the chip of Saquon Barkley, see if you can get a second or third round pick, and then draft a running back in the first round and keep that solid to elite level of play at running back to help out Daniel Jones. Look, Bijan is a freak. He's an absolute stud. What he did at the University of Texas this past year was sensational. 18 touchdowns on the ground, 6.1 yards per carry, over 1,500 yards. Bijan is a do-it-all back. But I'm kind of out on drafting running backs in the first round. I think you can find guys later in the draft in the second or third or fourth round if you're trying to replace Saquon Barkley. I do like, though, drafting running backs in the first round for the only reason that you have them cost-controlled for 5 years, or if it's the second round, it's 4 years, and they're going to want a contract extension after that third year. Bijan's a beast, no doubt about it, but I'm kind of over spending high capital, draft capital on a running back at this point. I think Bijan's going to be great, but I also think Saquon Barkley could still be great. I am weary of what the Giants should pay Saquon Barkley, and it's going to be interesting to find out what they're going to do with him. But I would say no. I wouldn't trade Saquon to just draft a running back in round 1. What about you, though? Pick a running back. Pick a running back. Would you rather have Saquon Barkley and pay him a lot of money, or would you rather have Bijan Robinson and select him at pick number 25? Type BR for Bijan Robinson, SB for Saquon Barkley. I want to hear from you guys. I get the line of thinking, but I'd probably stay with Saquon Barkley. Make sure you guys are following me over on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. I'm tweeting about the Giants all day, every day. I'm trying to follow back some Giants fans. DM me, I know ball, and I'll give you a follow back. Rolly, what do you think of that question?
It's a tough one. I think I would not draft the first round running back. That's just how I view things. I get that it could be beneficial, but to me, even though Bijan Robinson is a uber talented running back who has all the physical, mental traits, I just think running back, I just don't buy into it, and I think you only draft the running back if you're a team that is quite literally a running back away.
And is anybody ever really a running back away?
No.
Like the Chiefs thought they were with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and he sucks.
Like, you know who is in a prime position to draft a running back? The Philadelphia Eagles.
But why would they do that?
Because Miles Sanders is a free agent.
You just drafted Kenny Gainwell, though, in I think the 2nd or 3rd round.
Sanders is a free agent. The rest of the roster is elite. So if you can grab Bijan with the last pick in the 1st round, if he's still there, and have an elite duo of Hurts and Robinson.
But you also got to think about this. Hargrave's a free agent.
Yeah.
James Bradbury's a free agent.
Yeah.
TJ Edwards is a free agent.
Yeah.
Would you rather draft a guy to replace those guys in the 1st round or a running back? Their roster is awesome right now, but they have free agents coming.
I think if they re-signed Hargrave and James Bradbury, they'd be fine drafting.
They also got to pay Jalen Hurts.
Well, here's the thing about
then
the
you got to pay
Eagles.
Devontae Adams or Devontae Smith coming up.
Here's the thing about the Eagles. They have 2 first-round picks.
I know.
So they can use one of them on a different position and then use one of them on a luxury pick like Bijan.
I would never draft a running back again in round 1.
I think it's a different story if you're the Eagles. Pick 31 if they ended up winning the Super Bowl, or pick 30 if they lose. I get it.
Great question from, who was that? I Know Ball?
No, I like New York Giants.
I like New York Giants. Good question. Charles,
I think, listen.
Who was the running back to take?
I don't think there was a running. No, there was a 2nd-round running back that was way better than Clyde. Give me a second to do some research here.
My thing is just like, you can always get better elsewhere than running back. If I was a GM, you know what I would do, Rolly? I would draft a running back every single year in the 3rd or 4th round.
Oh, that's how I feel. That's kind of what the Patriots do.
I would draft a running back every year. Use them up, and then see you later. DeAndre Swift, he says. Swift with them would have been sick.
Yeah, so here's the thing.
Even though he doesn't even play anymore.
Swift went 3 picks later.
Swift doesn't even play for the Lions anymore, though. He got beat out by Jamal Williams.
So they did it right, because ready for this? Clyde Edwards-Helaire got picked at pick 32. Pick 35, DeAndre Swift.
Jonathan Taylor.
Pick 41, Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor with the Chiefs.
Pick 52, he tore his Achilles, but Cam Akers, better than Clyde Edwards-Helaire. J.K. Dobbins at pick 55. A.J. Dillon at pick 62. Wow, that was a loaded 2nd round of running backs.
Like, just because when you pick someone in the 3rd round, they're low on the books. Just get one every year in the 3rd or 4th round. I love Saquon. I have his jersey. I was hyped when the Giants drafted him. I don't know if I'd ever do that again, though.
Especially because I feel like there's a good running back, like Jahmyr Gibbs in the 2nd round or 3rd.
But he's not really a running back. I mean, he is, but gives me like Percy Harvin vibes. Atlantic Lion, if you have a question, go ahead and drop it in the comments, and I'll answer it because you're a real one. You want to go grab grab a BL or a Miller for you though, because we're almost out and we need them for tomorrow.
So I'd have been okay if Abby took one, but Rolly takes one. Can't do it.
Can't do it.
I hate it here, man. I hate it.
If you would have rooted for the Giants and not the Vikings, then maybe. Oh, Rolly. I know, Charles, but hindsight's 50-50, Charles. But all the people the Giants thought about taking there were not good either. So that gives me a little bit of a better feeling, maybe? I don't know. Jalen Hyatt, I'd be cool with Jalen Hyatt at 25. Yeah, Charles, I would have been cool with trading out as well. We'll never know if that was on the table, though. We'll never know. Dave Gettleman didn't even know how to trade down in an NFL draft until the Kadarius Toney draft. I like Jalen Hyatt. I don't know if I like him at 25, though. Good player, fast, explosive, electric, but when you watch his tape at Tennessee, he's always open. And I feel like it's more because of the scheme than the player. But when he has that ball in his hands, you're not catching him. What do you think of Jalen Hyatt? I like him, but I feel like he was always open because of the scheme. Those dudes were running wide open in Tennessee last year. I like Hyatt. I don't know if I like him in the first round, though.
So Jalen Hyatt's good. The fastest wide receiver in the draft by far. So
At least in the early rounds. You'll probably get a track guy that runs faster, but
I don't know. It's either going to be Nathaniel Sankdell, bring him up again, or Jalen Hyatt is the fastest 40 guy in this draft class. But I saw a lot of people say that when scouting, Hyatt's a one-trick pony. He just uses speed to get by guys. Get in the scheme, get open through the scheme, and just run by people. I've been told, I haven't scouted and looked at film myself, but I have been seeing across various networks that people believe he is more of a speed guy, doesn't have the intangible route running skills as other guys. His hands, not as good as some other guys. He just relies on his speed to get open. So that's what I've been seeing.
I like him. He's explosive. I just wonder,
like if he creeps into round one, I don't think it's worth it.
I'd rather have Zay Flowers at 25 than Hyatt.
Yeah, because he's got better hands. He's more shifty.
He's just has better receiver skills.
Yeah. But Zay Flowers is also more of a slot guy than your standard X receiver. So if you're looking for a big body receiver on the outside, Zay Flowers isn't your guy. So it really depends on what the Giants are looking for in a wide receiver. Are they looking for an elite wide receiver one to move outside and inside? Or are they looking for just immediate production? Because you can get that from Zay Flowers in the slot.
We've heard Joe Schoen say he likes a generator with the football in his hands. That's Zay Flowers.
Or you can just wait till in the mid-40s, your second-round pick, and take Josh Downs. Whew. I love Josh Downs. Blinders might be on, but I love Josh Downs.
I think there's some juice with Quentin Johnston there, but I also have some cause for concern. I think his route tree is a little bit limited. Draft is a crapshoot. That's why I'm a fan of trading a first-round pick for a proven guy. This is one of the worst receiver drafts we've seen in a while.
At least in the top tier. It might be one of the most deep receiver classes, but you're talking first-round elite talent. I think we've just been spoiled by the Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith. Like that.
Justin Jefferson at 22.
Like, we've just been getting spoiled with elite wide receivers in the
A.J.
first
Brown in
round.
the second round. DK Metcalf in the second round. T. Higgins in the second round.
A.J.
Michael
Brown
Pittman in the second round.
A.J. Brown in the second round. I don't know if you said him.
Like, could be wrong. I don't know if there's any of those guys in this draft. McLaurin in the second round. Or was he first? He was second, right?
Yeah. You know what I wouldn't hate? And call me crazy here. If there's an elite talent on the board at 25,
I think you take best player available.
what if you traded out of the first round? It's tough because it's pick 25, but what if you were able to grab a first-round pick next year?
How far are you trading down in round 2, though?
It's a
Or
great
you just
question.
give up that pick for picks next year?
Because here's my thing. If DJ doesn't have as good as a year this next year, next year's quarterback class is on
You gotta give him
paper
some help
to
this
look
year.
elite. I'm just going to say that. Next year's QB class on paper right now looks absolutely elite.
For me, it's like you're going to need to be top 3 pick. That's going to be hard to trade
Well,
up
here's
to.
the thing. That's why I mean if you like trade back and you kind of have a hedge on yourself, like if DJ regresses this year and it was kind of a one-year wonder in his first year with Dable and Kafka. Say Kafka leaves and DJ stinks. Like, you're going to probably be looking for a quarterback next year if you don't sign him to a long-term extension this offseason. So if it's a one-year deal or a franchise tag or a 2-year deal with an opt-out, you could hedge yourself by trading back, getting another first-round pick, and then sending 2 first-round picks in the same draft next year with another first-round pick to move up and draft a guy if you really needed to.
I think you got to get him some help this year.
It's a bold take. It's a bold take, but
You'll never know what he is if you don't give him talent. Because I think it's fair to say the Giants' skill positions were a bottom 5 unit this year.
oh yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Alrighty, we're going to do a beer shot fun coming up in a second. If we want to spin the wheel anymore, we could do that. If not, we're going to head out after this beer shot fun. I do owe 2 shots of tequila. I owe some tequila shots. You know what's crazy about the Eagles, Charles? Big boy from Georgia, what's his name? And Nakobe Dean don't even play. But he was a top 10 projected pick at one point. Is for the real ones. One more. How's that Knicks looking? One more.
We took the 12 spins, and it really was only just, I think like 6 of them were me
cap.
shots, 4 of them were Marshall shots, and the other 2 were subscribe, I believe.
All right. This is what we're going to do.
Thought I'd have some penny shots.
Until me and producer Rolly are done with this beer shot fun race, we're doing $5 spins. Until we're done with the wheel, $5 spins starting now. Every $5 super chat, we'll spin the wheel. Every $5 super chat, we're gonna spin the wheel. Jeremy, have you ever seen the rain?
I want to know, have you ever seen the rain coming down on a sunny day?
You got a good voice.
Thank you.
This kind of looks like a UNT.
It's actually
Has anyone been to Pinewood Country Club in Rochester, New York?
Hey, Bill! Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Bill. Bill's the man. Bill's the man. Let's spin the wheel for Bill real quick. Let's spin the wheel for my guy, Bill, a multiple-time member of the New York Giants hard hat and a real one, and the winner of the Azeez Ojulari signed football. Shout out to my guy, Bill. Rob said the last time you did $5 chat, you were toast. Look, I'm down to be toasted right now, Rob. Let's get toasted, Rob. Let's get toasted.
Yeah, Rob, let's get all toasty.
I really hope this lands on.
Hey,
shot for shot.
Rolly, can you give me a spin on the wheel for me? Other way.
I like that. I like that. Move over.
Other way.
Yeah!
On his spin!
On his spin. Let's go.
Wow, that's legendary.
Rob Jigga says, can we get AA back to? We're at 158 right now, Jeremy. What do we got to get Abby Alonso back in the stew?
Yeah, probably 250.
All right, that's what they said. If we get to 250, I will race Abby Alonso in another beer shotgun.
Are we
Atlantic Lion says, sip up, Rolly.
We still hooping?
Yeah, we're hooping.
Alrighty.
Unless we have plans to hoop, but I also have plans to have fun with the real ones right now if we're about that.
We gotta make should we live stream us hooping?
They don't want to see me cook you.
Oh!
Toasty.
Hey.
Shout out.
Oh, this was Bill's. I never pulled it up, but.
In late, so I get the discount price. If you stick around to the end, Bill, or if you even tune in at the end, you get the discount. Rob Simpson, a real one, says, toasty, go Giants. Bill says, where's Crims? He hears AA and usually jumps in. Yeah, Crim's dad was in here earlier. Not sure where he went now.
Do you want to give it a spin this time?
Yeah, let me give it a spin. Watch out, Rolly. This way. Here we go.
The other way, Rolly.
I was gonna go on the other way.
All right. Go ahead, Marsh.
Got it. Woo! That one felt good, baby.
That was a good spin.
That was a Nick roll-off shot fun. Yeah! Nick roll-off shots. Let's get him wasted, dude. $5 spins. $5 spins. Are you going to be good, bro? I don't want to hear any excuses when I'm saucing you up on the court.
I was hooping after 8 soft tacos. I think Rolly's good.
Yeah, that was a lot of soft teas. Are you ready for this? Shout out to Bill. Shout out to Rob.
Bill. Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Bill Nye the Giants now. Bill. All right. Are you going to count us down?
All right. Yep.
It's a 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah. You go on go.
You cock on go.
All right. Racers, start your engines in 3, 2, 1, go! Oh, shit.
Dude. It's not everything, dude. It exploded. It exploded.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Rolly had a blowout.
Rolly had a blowout.
Was it cold?
Yeah, it just exploded.
Holy fuck.
Oh my
I'm
god.
not gonna lie. I think the entire can almost came out in the first go.
Oh my god.
I just see it shoot out of there.
Dude, it was ridiculous.
That might be time for us to sign off.
Dude, that was the first time I've had a failure on a shot clock. Like, it just absolutely exploded.
Yeah, that was. I'm over here gulping away, and I just see fucking liquid shoot everywhere.
Dude, it actually exploded. I don't know how far, like, where things went. I mean, you got some on your computer.
Yeah, Rolly
From
just.
you, though.
Rolly probably just
You kind of
broke my computer. Yeah, on that note, it might be time.
People are talking. I will say, first time I've ever done a beer shot fun with that type of beer. Just gonna say that.
Dude, I'm clipping that.
Rosario Guzzo says, get Abby back. We're at 163 right now. If we get to 250, Zoe's allowed to come back. Charles said you had a premature shot.
Okay, what does that mean?
Premature?
Oh, premature shot. I thought you were asking me to take another shot, like for people.
Alrighty. We'll do 2 minutes on the shot on the shot clock. If any more soups come in the next 2 minutes, we'll do those. If not, we're going to sign off. Jeremy, can I get play-by-play of what just happened to Rolly?
Dude, so Rolly was a little late on the cock. And then whenever
You didn't get a good cock.
dude, a little bit shot up in the air. I'm not even
I
kidding.
didn't see that before.
A little bit shot up in the air.
I saw some come out of this. What is that? Rob, stop. What's with the draft day? Is that your favorite movie of all time? Be honest.
Rob loves Vontae Mack. Rob last show had me Googling who Vontae Mack was.
Yeah, last show, Marsh thought those were real prospects.
Yeah, my producer wasn't in my ear letting me know.
He goes, don't show me, don't throw up that on screen. I don't know who that is. Here's the thing, Marsh. It's not a real person.
That's because I didn't know who he was.
You know who played Vontae Mack? Chadwick Boseman, R.I.P. Wakanda forever.
Great movie, by the way.
Wakanda? Or Black Panther?
Draft Day.
Oh, Draft Day.
The other ones are Black Panther. I love
Alrighty. I don't think we're going to get to 250, and that's okay.
that. I still can't believe that just happened.
That was a brutal ending to the show.
That's never happened to me before. That was crazy.
Alrighty, we are going to sign off. We do still have 30 seconds on the shot clock. I don't know if we're going to get there. Doesn't seem like we will. And that is okay.
Yeah, I think Rolly needs a little break.
Rolly needs a break. I cut myself this weekend pretty bad.
Rolly just got the back of his throat just destroyed.
I was cooking some burgers, and when I was slicing through the meat, I almost sliced through my frickin' hand. And I was bleeding for about an hour and a half straight. I thought I was going to need stitches. It hurt pretty bad. But I'm here. I fought through the pain. I'm down to play. I'm down to do anything for this football team. Bill, I'm glad you tuned in as well. You are always the man of the party. Bill, we appreciate you. We appreciate everybody tuning in.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Bill. We're going to sign off on today's show. Another epic stream on a Monday. Videos the rest of the week, and we'll also be live next Monday. All righty. Later, guys. Love you guys. Let's go.